Holy fuck, guys, it's the listening log. We're back, baby. Last week I just had to skip it because life was busy. I'm not recording the stream. Look at that. Look at that. We're so back, bro. I hit record on the camera way before I hit record on the screen. That is what I do on these lists. That's what you come to the listening log for, bro. So we're going to cover 2 weeks in this video. That's crazy. I got Friday, a little further down, Friday 2. I forgot to bold these. I'd like them to be bold. I don't think that's crazy. I think it's totally reasonable. I'm more partial to them when they're bold. And then we'll cover announcements and news, last week's releases, this week's releases, you know the dealioso. But we're going to kick things off with the first thing I heard 2 weeks ago, I guess. Sill, Terror Research Facility. I also gave it 2 more listens on the Monday. I have listened to a bit of it today, actually. I've got it on the screen right here. This is the latest album from my fucking G. Shy. And Shy's released plenty of really great music under the name Shy, some ambient stuff, and I believe like she's even dabbled in like mashup dubstep sort of stuff too on like Bandcamp. I can remember that being a thing. I didn't fully like dive into that project, but here we are with a whole new body of work under the name Sill. I'm loving this cover art. It reminds me of The Rise of the Golden Idol. I said that in the last listening. But yeah, this album, it's got a real pulse to it. You're looking at some very floral, colorful, melodic, IDM adjacent dance type music. There are some real rages here in the form of High Faith, Maintenance, Kronos had a pretty like big booming drum rhythm. Every drum was given a good amount of room and space to really just like swallow you. The drums are particularly where this thing gets super expressive. They feel very clinky and like cluttery, like machinery. I see this cover art, I see these little dudes, you know, working away in the research facility. It does feel like a soundtrack to like a big operation. I feel like I'm hearing like, you know, inside SpongeBob's brain or something. They're just sort of tinkering away trying to make shit work. And there are moments where things really open up and it feels like I'm hearing breakthroughs. I wouldn't be shocked if Shy has drawn up a whole narrative to do with this album. In fact, this is one thing that Shy is actually particularly really good at, and that's like concepts within electronic music, which is not always an easy thing to pull off. That's pretty tough to like communicate, you know, ideas and stories and shit just through like synths and bleeps and bloops. But I really feel like I'm getting some pretty vivid images when I hear this thing. Sometimes the actual sound design and production isn't really that for me. Maintenance, the first track, is definitely my least favorite track. The lead melody when the drop comes in, I'm kind of off put by that. But it still does give me a pretty earnest window into the very endearing and colorful world that this album's given us. And I feel like we're exploring that in ways that are more musically interesting to me later on. I was actually particularly into Viva Peri. It reminded me of how I feel with some of my favorite Tim Hecker songs and stuff like that. You know, Artifact was a big favorite too. Spore had some lovely piano work and really nice melodies on it. Plenty to enjoy here. Given this thing 3 front to back run throughs, and I've had a really pleasant time. I was worried when I first started on Maintenance. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna fuck with this, but I ended up really enjoying it. And I would recommend it if you're an electronic nut. Sill's got you covered. This is a really strong record, man. And check it out. We're gonna do it. Not live, but on video. I'm gonna score Sill's Terror Research Facility with a cozy 3.5 out of 5. There are some Shy albums that have really like lit a fire under my soul in a bigger way. Woolgatherer's Pond and To Where Wings Rust. Hey yo, I'm telling you, dog, this shit's incredible. After that, I gave the new James Blake album a try. Trying Times, I've also heard this three times, I think. Yeah, there was a couple more listens on Sunday. I got to see James Blake live. I got the CD for this along with the concert. I saw him do like a little test run live show in a church where he was sort of just figuring shit out how he's going to perform these tracks on his upcoming tour, which I don't currently have tickets for. I don't know if I'll go to that, but I did get to see him perform a handful of tracks from this record, as well as I'll Come 2, Lindisfarne, freaking Retrograde. It was great. It was a really nice time. It was lovely in the church, and the lights and the improvisational shit he was doing. The way he flipped into Death of Love was fucking crazy. Particularly that song live is gonna go nuts, because that was just the prototype version that I heard. I can't imagine what the finalized, refined performance of Death of Love is gonna be like, if that's what the prototype is. But yeah, this album, I was really worried going into it that I was not gonna give a single solitary fuck about it, because the one single I did hear was I Had a Dream She Took My Hand, and I found that extremely dull. It's probably my least favorite song on this album. I find it very boring, and it's exactly what I don't like from James Blake. I think it's flat and dry and doesn't really make strong use of James Blake's extremely fascinating vocal timbre. I find it's like the most unadventurous way to use what I would see as his kind of idiosyncrasies and his strengths. So when I heard that song, I was like, all right, here we go. We're gonna get another Friends That Break Your Heart, another album that isn't like bad, is just super not for me. But thankfully, This album is actually sick. I think it's got some of his most interesting production in a minute. I particularly liked, yeah, Death of Love, Trying Times with those haunting background vocals, man. The way they sort of slowly phase in and out is so eerie. I love it. Make Something Up has some pretty cool, like, kind of hip-hop adjacent drums on it. At least it feels very soulful. Why don't we make something up? Pretty catchy. Pretty nifty Dizzy Rascal sample on this. Nothing is done. I think the songwriting on this record is probably the worst part for me. The album's called Trying Times, and a lot of it is very reactionary to today, I guess, like what we're having to live through. On tracks like Death of Love and the final track especially, I do kind of feel like I'm getting pretty dumbed down lyrics, just reacting to how these days things are like this, and these days things are like that. I don't think it's quite as poetic, but at the same time, there are still plenty of little nuggets, little gems that I do enjoy. I'm an eyesore, you're a sight for sore eyes. That's a nice little turn of phrase he whips out on the title track. The Dave tune I actually like way more than I should. I feel like I should find it really corny, but it totally lands for me. Rest of Your Life is a jam too. This is like a dancey one, right? This low-key sounds like the Sill album. I think it's a really strong album. I don't think it's his best work. I don't think it's his worst work at all. But I would say this is really good. I would probably put this over Playing Robots into Heaven. But it doesn't top, like, his first 3 albums. I think are all excellent. I love those albums. I don't think he's reaching those heights. His best work is actually low-key Enough Thunder. On the lowest of low-keys, Enough Thunder is really good. Next up, I checked out one of those Autechre live projects. And I gotta shout out the commenter from the last listing log. I actually, if I remember right, their username wasn't like a very memorable name or anything. It was like a bunch of numbers. Yeah, they gave a very thoughtful comment giving some insight into how the Autechre live shows work, and basically they program a sort of patchwork base for every tour using a programming language called Max/MSP, so making each tour kind of have a unique general texture, I guess, but you might hear some sounds or song ideas or grooves cross over if you were to listen to all of the live shit, of which there are like so many hours of, by the way. I've heard one. I heard the Zagreb one. It was literally just the first one on the track list, which conveniently happened to be one that this commenter highlighted, I think. From the 2016 to 28, I probably like the Zagreb one the most. See, so that's here. Here we are. Apparently this is the best one. I found it really fascinating, man. Electronic production is just insane. It's the coolest shit ever. What the hell's going on? It's pretty sick how one sound, one synth can just completely redefine and warp itself into like a whirlwind of crazy, like phased out flanger nonsense. Like this thing is just a whiplash, and within it will find a very stable groove if you listen closely. And I feel like that's where maybe some of the improvisation is happening, where it's like, let's get like an extremely loose bedrock foundation for a groove, a rhythm, and then just twist loads of knobs, bring in all these pre-programmed patchwork ideas or whatever, and just create something monstrous and nuts. And like, yeah, this thing has a lot of passages on it that had me pretty spellbound, and yeah, it's definitely best listened to just in complete darkness. Apparently they perform in complete darkness when they do the live sets, so yeah, I can see why. This thing is spiritual. It's pretty cold mostly. There are moments that do get kind of emotive and melodies creep in, and then you just get fucking submerged into like a cyborg's asshole or some shit. It's crazy. It was a good time. I had a really good time with it. I don't know if I'll dive into too many more of these, but I am interested in the feelings I get when I hear this music. It is pretty fucking crazy. And every picture of them, they're just like pissed off. Like, look at this shit. Bro, they look so... What are we doing right now, bro? Bugs when you lift up a rock. Be like, oh, there's a little bit of a smile. There's a little bit of a smile. Oh, they used to be happy. Oh, that's nice. You can kind of hear it in like, yeah, like an amber. This album's kind of happy compared to like fucking Elsec, man. Like, next up, I listened to some Ice Age Beyondless. I mean, it looks like we're gearing up for a new Ice Age release sometime soon with this new single, which I love. I've not stopped listening to it since it dropped. It's one of my favorite tracks of the year. Beyondless is a fantastic album. There was a 4-year wait, I believe, from this and Plowing into the Field of Love. And yeah, this thing sounds like they're performing just in the middle of the desert and just hoping someone hears them. There's like a kind of yearning desperation happening to some of these tracks, particularly on Under the Sun. Plead the Fifth actually wouldn't sound out of place in like a Muse track list, which is kind of a compliment as much as it is a negative. I mean, it has this like stadium rock sort of vibe to it, but I dig it. Catch It and Take It All, comfortably my favorites. The way the guitar creeps in on Take It All is fucking fire. You just have this kind of loose drum rhythm for a bit. Bassline joins it, you know, as per. Feel them. Hear the mandolin creeping in, the guitar creeping in, bro. Oh, I love it. I would say out of any Ice Age album, this is where they sound their biggest. Like, these tracks are so huge, they feel earth-swallowing, bro. This is just 30 seconds in. You see what I mean when I say desert? It feels like a friggin' Mexican standoff, like a cowboy type. The Magnificent Seven rocking up to, like, the fucking saloon. God, it's so cinematic, man. I fucking love that track. Catch It. Oh my god, that song is amazing. The title Catch It, referring to just like catching these moments, these feelings, these pockets of escapism where the pain isn't so overwhelmingly insurmountable, like just hanging on to every little moment of peace you get. When I say desperation, like Catch It is what I'm talking about. Like every single delivery of the title Catch It. It feels like he's on his last breath. It's so fucking gorgeous. Be real. You reel and you catch it. Like something's finally making me feel like a real human being. I'm feeling alive. Like I need to catch that feeling. Just so much fucking anguish in it, man. Like, dude, Ice Age, they are so emotive, powerful. I fucking love their music, bro. Cannot wait for whatever they're cooking up with their new shit, because this shit rules too, and it's way happier. This is like their happier song. Like, at least just how it feels. It feels like it's got some real life in it, got some joy in it, some pep in the step, if you will. I also listened to Cameron Winter's heavy metal. This is a pretty frequent revisit for me, particularly when I'm in London and I'm just, you know, trying to find my way around. If you ever see me strutting around in London, Oxford Circus, Bond Street, Tottenham Court Road, like that kind of area, and I got headphones on, like you could probably put some money on me listening to heavy metal and you wouldn't have bad odds at all. I love this fucking album a lot. I've really grown to adore everything about it. From the president's ass towards me and you. The piano in particular in this album has no right being as fucking beautiful as it is. I love this song right here. There's like a little chime that comes in on Drinking Age around the middle part. Right here. Table by the door. He gives every single line on this album so much space to stick in your brain. It's also vivid to me when I think of this record. Like every moment, every measure feels so perfectly evenly paced, and yeah, this whole track list it's so good. It's a fucking great album, man. It's funny too. There is a sense of humor to it. It's weirdly morbid and kind of tongue-in-cheek, and there's so much pain underneath those moments, especially on $0, where it all kind of explodes into a song that gives me a feeling I don't think I've ever felt with a song before. Like that climax is seriously like, I don't know how to feel. When I first said it, I was like, I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to feel. It's so fascinating. Like, he's a really fascinating songwriter, bro. To be putting this shit out when you're like, what, 22? That's actually so fucked up. And this shit can get really catchy. Nautica's so fucking catchy and just full of life. Just so brimming with joy. It's really lovely. I think my overall favorite is Cancer of the Skull. So normally, like, the kind of windmill scene sort of shit, the sax is my least favorite part. My least favorite Black Country New Road songs are the ones where the sax is super present. Placing Inserted the Blade, hate that song. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not writing off the sax entirely in this context, but a lot of the time I'm just noticing that I kind of wince or close up to or distance myself from the emotional center of the song when I start to hear the sax coming in doing all sorts. It's part of the reason why I've struggled to get into Marujah as like passionately as a lot of other people have, but here, bro, on this song, all of that goes away. God! The chords are so beautiful. Oh, that chord progression is fucked up, man. Next up, trying times. I listened to Slowthai's Tyrant. For some reason, I think it was because I was listening to James Blake and I saw in the related music videos here, I saw Feel Good. Sorry, not Feel Good, it's a different Slowthai song. Feel Away. I saw Feel Away in here, which is from that Slowthai record, Tyrant. And Slowthai, he's, I know he had like the whole court thing, had a pretty damning charge against him, which I think he was cleared of. I remember looking into it, and the situation he was in to begin with, to be charged of anything is just weird. Like, this guy's clearly got some fucked up things, but he's not like, you know, hiding. You know, the whole album Ugly is him just kind of spelling out that he is a really damaged and troubled guy. So yeah, it's pretty easy to understand why we just haven't seen much of Slowthai for a little bit. And I think really many people want to affiliate with him anymore, you know? For a minute, he was everywhere. He was on Brockhampton's album, Kenny Beats, freaking James Blake. Like, he was just all over the shop. And yeah, I decided to run back Tyrant because, I don't know, I have a pretty vivid memory of when this album came out. I had some friends at the time who were pretty hyped about it. And we were talking about it, and I was like, this is not good, guys. Shit's fucking ass. And yeah, it's not good at all. This is really bad, in my opinion. It's actually borderline awful, quite frankly. Mazza is still pretty comfortably the best track. This whole first disc is just a fucking write-off. Rising silence, get it, bubble dick. That's how he starts the album, bro. And then Enemy will say some shit. He confronts the listener with barbaric. Like, trying to find some type of like music journalism way to. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's just kind of terrible, bro. First disc is just like a fat load of nothing to me. Like, the production just sounds awful. It's really poorly engineered and mastered. The drums on Vex just sound dreadful. The bass on Vex is way too loud, and the drums just sound like shit. Like, it's mixed so bad. It's such a nothing beat, you know what I mean? It just makes me feel zilch. Feel Away is comfortably the best track on the whole thing. Second disc is awkward overall. I don't really think Slowthai is particularly good at being earnest. At least he wasn't here. He got better on it with Ugly, because I think the music accompanied that a bit stronger here with the more rock, alternative indie sort of sound palette he was rocking with. But I feel like it'd be tough to come back to this, given how lyrically gross it is for the most part. Feel Good and Selfish, if I remember right, are pretty good. But yeah, Slowthai is not exactly a very likable artist in my mind. Not necessarily a bad MC or a bad rapper. He's definitely got like a tone and a presence to him that is unique. I don't know. I sort of just stumbled into this list, and I wasn't like really desperate to revisit it. I just kind of saw it, and my mind was like, I could hit play on that right now. I'm just gonna do that. that was that pretty much, bro. Okay, we then listened to James Blake's Playing Robots into Heaven. We're staying in the James Blake Slowthai verse for a bit longer, if that's cool with you guys. This is the album he put out in 2023, where he fully embraced his pre-album self, where he was on his wacko weirdo electronic shit. The lead single was Big Hammer. Big Hammer was the lead single. I actually love that part. I love that melody. I think that's really cool. It sounds like tuning or something. Like, it has this kind of metallic robotic theme with the cover art and title. It fits. But this beat is terrible, man. It's a fat load of nothing. But it does go somewhere with that like fucking... Yeah, that sample, the sort of like reggaeton, fucking, not reggaeton, like Rastafari sample. Like, that's when we're starting to hear that sort of playful shit. And yeah, this album is pretty fun. All things considered, is James Blake just embracing all of the strange places his creative mind takes him. Like, I do hear James Blake music, and I just think, why did you think to make it this way? Like, why did you choose this? Like, when you hear tracks like To Care Like You, or even Points from Color in Anything, it's like, how the hell did you even conceive this? Like, was there not any part of your brain telling you that this could be ass? This could just be a terrible song? Because if I was making this, like, I would not have like the confidence to put this out. You know what I mean? I know we just skipped like 5 albums, we just went way back, but it would take a lot of like vulnerability, bravery, and to comfortably release this. I love this, for the record. This is like an awesome track in my opinion, but it's just so strange. The hi-hats sound just as much like lip smacks as they do like gears on a bike turning. It's that like fucking weird little explosion sound or drum. What even is that? I don't even know what that is, you know. Anyway, back to Playing Robots into Heaven. This was the album where he's like, all right, you know what? The last album was just like very organic ballads. Let me just entirely listen to the weird part of my brain for a whole album. And he made shit like this.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
What? I really like it. I enjoy this, even if the songs quite frequently don't amount to a huge amount of fulfillment or conclusive joy. There are some songs here that I would call, you know, kind of empty, like even a big hammer, even though I do kind of weirdly like that song. That being said though, when this thing does come through, my fucking word, it comes through. I gotta say, like, tell me, fall back, and fire the editor especially. Some of my favorite James Blake tracks ever. Tell Me is an aching song, dude. And largely because he lets the instrumental do the talking in a lot of ways. You know, sometimes his kind of imagery, the flowery poetry of it all, this sort of feeling can get a little muddled, and I found that was the case with this album for me, massively. I really didn't connect with this record, and here it felt like he channeled all of those feelings into the music. Overall, do I love the album? Not quite. I don't love it, but I do really enjoy this. And if it got announced that he was doing another album like if he were to, you know, announce a sequel to any of his catalog, I would probably get the most excited at the prospect of a sequel to this. And yeah, Sill right here as well, ×2. Tuesday, only one album got played on Tuesday, and that was one of the best albums of all time, Modest Mouse's debut. This is a long drive for someone let me try that again. This is a long drive for someone with nothing to think about. Long ass title. This is my favorite Modest Mouse record. It's one of my 10 out of 10s. I love this album a lot. One of my favorite things this album does is it lets you sit in the instrumental for a weirdly long time with no vocals. Lyrics, verses, choruses, they are very fleeting and sparing in favor of just these extremely cluttered, confused, almost disheveled and broken sounding instrumental passages like this shit. Where he's just coughing on the beat. I love it though. Down underwater. Best band ever, baby. Best band ever. I can't swim, so I don't paddle. I can't swim, so I don't paddle. Fucking best band of all time. I love this shit, man. This album makes me really happy, but it's also so anxious and so isolating, and it sounds like an album made by a band who are truly lost, not just literally like on a long drive, but like emotionally. Like they need to do something. They need to make something, distract themselves, wherever it is. That's kind of how it feels like a lot of the time when you're hearing these broken, fucked up instrumental passages. And lyrically, yeah, I can't swim, so I dog paddle. Like trying even when you know it isn't like safe for yourself to do it. Shit like that is kind of the mantra of this record to me in a lot of ways, and it's so powerful. I think it's really, really wonderful, and musically this thing is just throwing you curveballs after curveballs and just making these really rickety rhythms out of it. I find it just such an exciting listen and a really moving listen. I think my favorite song overall, I mean, it is Dramamine, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Dramamine is my favorite. Unfortunately, that is an extremely basic bitch choice. But Exit Does Not Exist is also massively up there. Custom Concern is up there. Breakthrough is one I was sleeping on. Breakthrough is actually one of the best Modest Mouse songs ever. I used to not like that song, but like on my first listen, I think I gave it like a 6 on my first listen. But it's grown into a 10. It's grown from a 6 to a 10, bro. What's the most an album's ever grown on you? Have you ever had that? Like where it's gone from like it's alright, it's pretty good, to like one of your favorite albums literally ever? It's a nice reminder to just never like discard an album completely just because you didn't love it right away. You never know, bro. You change all the time, whether you realize it or not, type shit. Shit, nonsense. Thomas. What'd you think of my Isaac Brock? Like little nuggets of this album enter my head all the fucking time, and I'm like, what is that from again? Oh yeah, it's from Modest Mouse's debut. Like I'll get like a drum pattern, a rhythm, a melody, or something from this album will just creep in my head at a random point. And it would take me a minute to realize, oh, this album is just, this entire album is in my head somewhere, whether I realize it or not. Like I love this shit, man. Hope it never leaves my rotation. And yeah, we kept up the 10 run, bro. We're going through the 10s again with Rustie's Glass Swords, man. The reason it is a 10 is because it is a cornerstone hallmark record for my taste, for my interests, for the person I am. Like genuinely, there's a good chance I wouldn't be listening to all these albums right now if it wasn't for Glass Swords. Glass Swords just reinforced my love for music, and specifically electronic music, in a way that very few albums have managed to do as far as just achieving an impact. Like this album really achieved a tremendous impact. This is a 10 out of 10 level joy I'm getting. When I hear this record, I'm getting a 10 level joy from it, and whether that be a element of nostalgia or just because this thing's decision making and like the sound palette, like this shit is all of my bias, is all of my little things I love in music and electronic music. It's all happening on this record, And in fact, it informed what I like about electronic music in a huge way. Like I was saying earlier, like this album for me was reinforcement to make music. I've said that before on this channel. Like I think this was the first time I heard an album and thought, yo, I should make electronic music. I should do that. I would have a voice in electronic music. I didn't realize that until I heard Glass Swords, because I was like, this is the kind of shit I think I would probably try and make. I didn't realize people made shit like this at the time. So it was an awakening moment for me. And I remember actually my friend Joe, my best friend Joe, coming over to the house. And I remember we were going through these tracks. He was just sat next to me and I was just like, let's chuck on some music. I've been listening to this album recently. He didn't like question it at all. We just let it play and he was just freestyling over these tracks, these beats. We were just having fun, just like grooving out. And he was just going like, yeah, I'm on that beat with that. I we were just fucking around, like we were just being kids and shit. We would have been like fucking maybe like 15 years old. I don't even know, but yeah. And eventually we were playing the whole album through. We made it to Afterlight, and Joe, my friend, like during the drop of Afterlight. Like it was during this drop, Joe like stopped to acknowledge what we'd been listening to for the last 30 minutes. He was like, what the fuck? He was like, Camden, like, what is this music, bro? I remember him being like, bro, what is this music? What are you playing for me right now? This is fucking sick. I was like, it's Glass Swords by Rustie, bro. I'm telling you. And he was like, bro. He was like, yo. He was like losing his mind. And still to this day, we lose our mind over this album. Like, this album is really clever with its pacing, and when it decides to kind of keep you in that little limbo, come in for a drop or an impact moment, or have a little bit of ear candy in the background, it's never too busy, too cluttered. It's always just so impactful. This thing is just beat work wizardry, front to fucking back. All Night remains my favorite. The way the source synth is functioning as the bass line as well as the lead melody, like what the fuck? You can still subtly feel it's building though, even when it isn't. Exactly. Oh. All night, but oh my god, man, this is the best shit ever. I love it. Snare is fucking awesome too. It's so big. Like, every sound is just given like such a spotlight. It's so fucking cool, bro. Flashback is also like right there for my favorite track, but All Night has always been a huge favorite. Fucking Globes is the prettiest shit of all time. Yeah, this album's the best. Listen to the new Cities of Eve record, Even Colder Spring. I want to give this a bit more time. Some of the songs, this is something I really struggle with Cities of Eve, is the distortion and the lo-fi-ness of it all. Sometimes it's way too much for me, bro. And I want to feel the bliss and like the serenity and pain and the anguish and all of it, and I feel like it's all there, but the distortion and the harshness of some of these sample loops is like a little too intense. You know what I mean? I feel like I've worded myself perfectly. I feel like you can exactly hear what I mean when you hear this shit. Like, but there is something like cosmic and gorgeous about what I'm hearing, but it's just kind of a little. It's like, all right, you can turn the knob down a little. But maybe for some people that's the magic of it, you know, is how uncompromising it is in presenting things to you in a disheveled, warped, broken sort of way. Like, there is something to that, and he does achieve something with that on this record, plenty. But there was just a lot of tracks here where I was finding it a little grating, I suppose. I felt the same way about this record, man. But I'm willing to give this one some more time, see if it kind of warms up to me, and if it does, maybe I'll go back to some of those other Cities of Eve projects that I didn't really click with. There was one of his I listened to, I didn't finish it, but it was awesome. I was really enjoying it. Yeah, this album. I tapped out when it got to the 45-minute long track, so I heard everything but that. I'd love to give this some more time. Cities of Eve is a pretty fascinating musician. One of the coolest in experimental hip-hop, sound collage, ambient, whatever you want to label it as. I mean, it's got little shreds of everything. I'm always going to have a passing interest, at the very least, in Cities of Eve. And then we have Thursday, the first Thursday. Smile by Porter Robinson, Bottomless Pit by Death Grips, and Year of the Snitch by Death Grips. Pretty wacky day right here. Smile. Yeah, man, it's a fucking amazing album. It actually is damn near perfect, honestly. Like, the more time I have away from it, the more I'm looking at this track list and like, is there really anything wrong with this album? It's kind of note perfect, bro. It's definitely his most confident and refined record yet. I'm sure he's currently hacking away at a new album, actually. It's been a few years now. I don't think he's touring at the moment. I think he's probably knuckling down on some new music, which is very exciting. Smile is beautiful. And smiling is a pretty difficult, painful conclusion to come to when you are met with a record full of existential, worry. Like, it's pretty clear that bro is not okay on this album, and he's kind of working through a few breakdowns. But he's doing so whilst acknowledging all of the things in this life that he thinks are cool, you know, references and video games and samples and sound effects and fucking Lil Wayne talking about a cup. References to Pitchfork, of course, Kitsune Maison freestyle. Like, there's just like a playfulness and a fun factor. Like, he's just trying to sort of reach this joy, this place of smiling, but there's always something to fight through in order to get there. And I feel like this album bottles that into some very transparent songs that are extremely fun to listen to. And they're kind of a bit rough around the edges, like production-wise, compared to something like a Nurture, which is a lot cleaner, has a lot more glistening elements to it. This album is more concerned with groove and feeling, and it's okay letting some things sound a little bit dusty. And like, you hear the drums on Kitsune Maison freestyle or Knock Yourself Out, and they don't sound as perfectly and precisely EQ'd as maybe some of the other Paul Robinson stuff, but it's confident in that way. And Cheerleader remains my favorite song I've ever seen performed live in my life. And actually, the Smile Tour is my favorite concert I've ever been to. The Smile Tour was fucking crazy. If you did not go on the Paul Robinson Smile Tour, just know you seriously missed out on like some life-changing shit. It was fucking amazing. And make sure you see Paul Robinson whenever he does his next album cycle, because yeah, it's an essential. His live shows are fucking crazy. The Nurture Tour was great too. I really like that, but the Smile Tour fucking destroys it, in my opinion. From the set design, the confetti, the fireworks, the inflatable cat, the way it would go through the album eras with a whole new sort of band thing with the freaking orbs that he would hit that would make noise. Then you got the billboard thing with the visuals, man. Like, dude, Smile Tour was fucking nuts. And the rock version of Get Your Wish. Yo, the fucking like punky rock version of Get Your Wish was nuts, bro. Is that a person in a video game getting hit a bunch of times? Is that what that is? That's what it sounds like when you get like stun locked in a fighting game. Funny to the sea, simple human beings. In the reaction video I did, I was moaning about his voice a little bit. I take all of that back. Of being a friend, I even like this shit now, man. Let's run it. It's probably still the worst track, but it's gotta say the things I'm trying not to say. Yeah, this whole idea of working through what you should do, things you're fighting off saying, and just the way Paul Robinson just deals with vulnerability so like openly and scrappily, I think is super wonderful. And this record fucking bangs, man. Bottomless Pit and Year of the Snitch. Yeah, we got some Death Grips to talk about. So Daniel and I were talking about Death Grips, and it just prompted me to go listen to their last two proper studio albums, Bottomless Pit and Year of the Snitch. I actually had more fun with Year of the Snitch this time around. I think Bottomless Pit's a better record, but I had a really good time with Year of the Snitch, and the experience of listening through Year of the Snitch is bombastic, man. And I can say that for any Death Grips record, but this one is genuinely like freakish, because the sound is really strange. The engineering and the mixing is really inconsistent, and Bottomless Pit has this unbelievable clarity to it. This 4K resolution to every individual sound. It's just so like high attack, and there are like kicks that barely even register as kicks on this record. Vocal is getting completely muffled and blended in with, like on Ha Ha Ha, you can barely even hear MC Ride. It's just a completely uncontainable whirlwind. It's like the band are fighting against an army of fucking ducks. Or maybe even flies. I don't know. It's seriously like paranoia inducing. It's like, it's frantic in a way no other Death Grips record is. And I ended up just finding it utterly fascinating and extremely enjoyable. It's an underrated one for sure. I think it's most regularly the one marked as the worst Death Grips album. I mean, I think that's a fair choice. I definitely think Government Plates is worse. I think No Love Deep Web is worse, personally. Jenny Death for sure is worse. Maybe even Ex-Military, but that could be crazy. I'm not as big on Ex-Military as some other people, but I still think it's really good. Bottomless Pit, though, fucking one of the most reliably fantastic Death Grips albums. It's truly just like an all hits record. Every song just around 3 minutes, super catchy. Ring a bell, bro. That part where the guitar goes like America, now I'm coming Africa. My death is money. But the shit, not me. Expression, probably. Fuck that middleman. It's fun when you go back to Death Grips after you haven't listened to them for a little while, and you sort of realize that you know like fucking loads of lyrics to Death Grips songs. It's like you can't make shit out. If you're just listening to it, like you can't make out like these lyrics very well. And it takes a trained ear. I'm like, shit, man, my ear has been trained. Spikes might be the best track on here, man. The way the synths like interrupt each other. Like the guitar in the chorus, bro. Blending a bit of that Jenny Death influence. So fucking cool, bro. Oh my god. Houdini's catchy as shit too. The snare on BB Poison, listen to this shit. It's fucked up. Oh, powerful ass snare. Crazy sound design, man. I know they are back. They exist. They're still a band, except no more Flatlander. Yeah, Andy Morin even. Yeah, because he's like a creep and shit. So it's just gonna be Stefan and Zach Hill. I think they're both absurdly awesome creatives. I have no doubt that whatever they come back with as Death Grips will be like crazy and unexpected and fascinating. But yeah, the synth work and the sampling is such an instrumental part of the sound of Death Grips. So I really, really am like fascinated by how the spirit of Death Grips is going to manifest and realize in whatever their new sound ends up being. Does Lakeith Stanfield fuck with Death Grips? He's got Forever by Drake in here. MF Doom kind of sounds like his like Darius from Atlanta. Gonna be a great day today. Like on this song. He's got Plastic 100C. Degrees, whatever. So hot, I've been melting the air, made out of plastic, and that's when your beauty appears. Oh, he's got Fuck That from the Money Store? Fuck, really? Wow. Rogue pick. Runway J is on here. I feel like the first part is Darius. Maybe this is like the real key. I can picture Darius partying to fuck up some commas. Friday, we're on the new week now. Underscores dropped, so I listened to that shit twice. And then I listened to it 5 times. And then listened to it another time. And then listen to it as far as full front to back listens, we have a total of 9. So you might be thinking, damn bro, you're probably gonna have a lot to say about underscores. And yeah, you would be very much correct. And that's why I thought it would be smart to preserve all of these opinions and thoughts and stuff for an episode of CD Small Talk. There it is, CD Small Talk. We're talking about underscores, me and Daniel, for like 80 to 90 minutes, bro. Big old underscores chat. Do check out the episode if you want to dive into our opinions on underscores. We have a lot of very, very flattering things to say. I mean, the title isn't exactly being cute about hiding anything. We love this record, bro. So if you want to see us geek out over underscores for 90 minutes and various other things, the conversation splinters off to Hyperpop, to JPEG Mafia, to Danny Brown, or, you know, shit like that. It's a good old yarn. Plenty of laughs in there. This part's really funny. I like this part.
It's really cool. Man, it's exciting shit. Yeah. Yeah, how the fuck? There's some people that say this shit's boring.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
How though? Like, how can you get bored of this?
It doesn't make any sense. How can you not like this?
I kind of want to meet someone that hates this album.
I would love to hear, yeah. That'd be interesting.
You should have been this person.
You look so genuinely stumped. Like, it's not possible. How the fuck could anyone? That's so funny. So yeah, full thoughts on that can be found in CD Small Talk episode 3. Next up, we listen to Linkin Park's Minutes to Midnight. Oh my god, this album is like the most adorable album of all time. This is genuinely the most cute fucking album ever. It's so sad and melodramatic, and it's just expressing it in a really like precious way. I don't know, man. It's just like, listen to this song, dude. Harder than it seems. Somehow I got caught up in between my pride and my promise, between my lies and how the truth gets in the way. Aww, it's so cute. They just need a little hug. They need a little hug, man. It's so sweet. Leave out all the rest, man. 'Cause no one else can. After my dreaming, I woke with this fear. Talk your shit, Chester, man. Oh, when I'm done. What am I leaving when I'm done here? Like, they're really confronting like legacy and like. Oh. So if you're asking me, I want you to know. Yeah! reasons to help me leave behind some reasons to be missed. I mean, that's very prescient now. Fuck, man, this album is heavy. And there's like I don't know, it's delivered in this way that feels kind of naive. I don't know, I can't like quite put it into words, but it just makes it all the more like nice, special to me. I love this record, honestly. I think it's wonderful. I really enjoy it. Then again, I kind of grew up with it. Like, Linkin Park were my favorite band for the entirety of my childhood. I actually remember when I first got the CD for this. My mum got it for me, and I listened to it, and I read the lyrics, and I was like, please don't be swear words. Because, yeah, like, I also liked other bands at the time, like Blink-182 and Green Day, and they were obviously a lot more crass, and they would swear more, and I couldn't play those in the car, and I remember, like, having a, like, emotional reaction to, like, nervously skipping Happy Holidays, You Bastard in the car with, like, my parents or something. It's Christmas Eve, and I'm like, oh, fuck, not this one, oh, man. Like, I would even feel awkward listening to it myself, because I'm like, this is just, like, kind of, like, when you're a kid, it's just, like, it feels weird to hear that shit. And when I hit play on Given Up, and I'm hearing going, like, tell me what the fuck is wrong, I was like, no, not you, like, none of your other songs have swear words. That's the thing, like Meteor and Hybrid Theory, they're swear word free as far as I know. Yeah, no explicits anywhere, bro. And yeah, they were swearing a little bit on this record. They got 3 songs with swear words. I remember like my heart sinking when I heard him say the F word when I was 8 years old. Or 7 years old, actually. Bleed It Out is kind of hilarious, though. Listen to this guitar. The guitar sounds dreadful. Yeah, here we go for the 100th time. Hand grenade pins in every line. Look 'em out, no excuse. Yeah, someone pour it in, making it dirt this floor again. This shit's hilarious, bro. I played it out! The song was on one of the Guitar Heroes as well. I forget which one, but I can vividly remember it being a very easy one. Like, the level was easy. Anyway, Saturday was just underscore city. We listened to Fishmonger right here. Went back and dived into some older underscores, and I still think this album is just fucking awesome. Dry Land 2001 is in contention for, like, one of the best underscores tracks. Spoiled Little Brat, amazing single off this thing. Bozo, 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 you're an idiot. Love the use of, like, reverb and delay, where it sort of pings around so satisfyingly. Where Did You Fall is a sleeper favorite of mine too. A bit of a UK garage kind of beat on that one. It sounds really cool. I love the little vocal refrain there. Your favorite sidekick is very, very kawaii. Celebrity? Very cutesy. This one.
Ring, pick it up. I could be a sidekick.
Voicemail, think you're so clever. Shut up! I'm bored.
Let me be the teacher. We're so right.
And I've been eating toothpaste, cause it gives me toothache.
I think you drank my Kool-Aid.
Just so much better than Woolsocket, I'm sorry. Woolsocket? Are you seriously expecting me to sit through Johnny on any given Tuesday? That shit is ass. One of the worst choruses in Underscore's history. Girls Like Us and Cops and Robbers are amazing, though. Don't get it twisted. Hello Everything by Squarepusher got a listen, which I talked about before. I've now further investigated this record with another listen, and it is absolutely bizarre. It sounds like a machine operating at hyperspeed. I'm trying to think of like what this visual is. Like maybe it's like some Monsters Inc. shit, or like, I don't know, I'm picturing like a CGI like 2000s factory, like robots all working, like automated machines building like a factory processed recipe of a robot, just like duplicating it over and over again, like at light speed. That's what this album sounds like. See what I mean? It's fun though. I like this record. And you would never expect it to go to this place from the beginning. Like Hello Meow, Bubble Life, theme from Sprite, Planetarium, they just have this like cartoonishness, this zaniness. And it gets kind of weirdly cold later on. And then you got Vacuum Garden and Circle Wave 2, which is this insanely like hard stop halt where you just kind of get hypnotized and put in a trance and just, I guess, zapped into a whole new universe, because the second half has so little in common with the first half. I really love this album though, man. I think this album is awesome. It just has this like boundlessness to it that is really, really cool. Orient Orange too is an extremely moving 10-minute long, really disheveled kind of like ambient soundscape sort of thing. It is like, this thing really is inviting in everything. It's like, hello everything. Look at this fucking cover art, man. Amy from the Sound Binge pointed out that this cover art is really funny. It's so funny. Look at this fucking cover art, bro. Big fan of the depth of field in the top left here. This looks like a fucking like university, the music prospectus, like 3-year course in music production and songwriting. Enroll now. This thing is kind of tongue-in-cheek. Like, there's a song called The Modern Bass Guitar, and it sounds like this. I love Squarepusher, man. On Sunday, I listened to Underscores You, and then I recorded the podcast, which then gave way to Monday, where I listened to Aphex Twin, Underscores You, and Ice Age's Plowing into the Field of Love. I Care Because You Do is an exceptional record. I was editing, if I recall correctly, editing the podcast while listening to this, so it wasn't a very attentive listen, but I know this record pretty well. I'd also like it to be public knowledge that I am very pro Ventolin. I think Ventolin rules. My favorite song is probably the first song. I think the first song is fucking haunting. Gives me the creeps and the bleeps and the whatever the guy from Spaceball says. I forget the other one. Love Come On You Slags. I love that like siren-y synth melody. Feels like the whole building's on lockdown or something. You're just like running for your life or something. It's so like high alert, man. One of my favorite Aphex Twin albums for sure, man. It's probably my second favorite behind Richard D. James. Although Drug Use is like the magnum opus. Like this thing is actually an astonishing achievement. I feel like it's probably like the furthest he's pushed himself, and he just totally stuck the landing. Even though it's 100 minutes long and has 30 tracks, it's still like fucking amazing front to back. I don't know, it doesn't really move me or interest me as much for some reason as these two. Hell, even Saw Volume 2 I have a huge soft spot for, bro. And yeah, Ice Age is Plowing into the Field of Love. The Field of Love, you say? Underscores reference, bro? Yo, Underscores was referencing Ice Age this whole time? Was Underscores plowing into the Ice Age on her new album? Many people are saying this, bro. Yeah, amazing record. Terrifyingly anxious record, dude. How many? Elias's voice on that one. Shivers everywhere, bro. It's just kind of an album about how love and emotions get so crossed and they can explode and they can just paralyze you so much and stop you from just being a functioning person. Like this thing sounds like it's just short-circuiting for a lot of it, but this thing actually does kind of bang though, like as a rock album. On My Fingers, Against the Moon, man, Against the Moon, bro. Sumerian and Shade, Stay. Incredibly freaky strings on this song. Yeah, it sounds like a violin getting scraped with like a razor. It's like out of time with the groove too. Oh, it's fucking awesome. Against the Moon is definitely the prettiest this record gets. I think the piano on that song is to die for, dude. Beautiful, man. This is a special ass album, man. And they turned it in a year after You're Nothing. We did run back Cities of Eve on Tuesday. I forgot about that. I think I just went to sleep to it though. Jack Harlow's Monaco. I don't know how many times I listened to it. According to Last FM, it was a lot. I don't remember listening to it that many times. I think I just had it on in the background and it was just looping. It genuinely, it barely registered to me that it was playing. This thing is so empty and nothing, and it's immediately transparent, obvious what it's trying to do. And coming from Jack Harlow, there's just no perspective there, really. It's so boring, against the grain.
You're looking at me, but you're still not listening.
You're looking at me, but you're still not listening.
Acting like you don't feel nothing.
Nothing. Oh man, that's sexy, bro. That's sexy. Run it back.
Baby, I just wanna spend time with you while you're going against.
Baby, I just want to spend time. It's like, fuck. The whole album is like lush R&B, like sexy instrumental, and Jack Harlow just saying shit like this.
I don't know why you keep talking about the trouble. I
keep talking about the trouble in the damn thing. I just want to see how you move that thing. Yeah, I just want to see you go against the grain, girl. At least Jack, man, had like, there was like a personality to this record. It wasn't brimming out the seams with just loads of color and passion and amazing shit or anything like that, but it was a dedicated labor of love, like earnest record where he was getting shit off his chest, and the person behind it, Jack Harlow, was a somewhat compelling subject. There was some charisma there was some, semblance of flow and rhythm that was at least a bit catchy. I just think Monica is so completely void of anything worth talking about. I had it playing like on my TV for like ages. At a certain point it just sort of became like white noise, just what was in the air, I guess. Then I checked out the new Bladee singles, Love Is a State and Eyelash. They were both pretty sick, actually. Really enjoyed both of them. Love Is a State being more gentle, Eyelash being more explosive. I mean, the kicks on Eyelash were nuts, man. Just now when I was shaking my head listening to that, like, that was trippy. Like, it made the sound go like It was fun. They're both kind of distorted and blown out and clipped in a similar way to how Cold Visions was, but they have the songwriting approach of something like The Fool, where they're a bit more sensitive, melodic, and sweet, and pretty, and they're about love and stuff like that, and a person that Bladee wants to be closer to, and yeah, they're good tracks. I feel like at some point a Blade record is just going to sort of fall into our laps. Either way, for now, just taking these tracks on their own, they are pretty dope. Super, super well produced. Brakence Hypochondriac got a listen. If I'm being completely honest, I'm actually not that huge on the front to back listen of Hypochondriac. The concept is a joke, man. Brakence has been successfully eradicated. He couldn't tell the difference between selfish art and where's the line between dark magic and true music, or I don't fucking know, man. It's so stupid. Doctor said it's nothing. Like, when you hear these lyrics and how kind of trite they are, the way they're so clearly written to be enunciatable and emphasized by Brakence's delivery, they result in very catchy songs, obviously, which is great, but lyrically, I don't know, it comes off extremely bratty. So I think to try and translate that type of writing into some sort of like ego death concept thing, it just comes off really flimsy to me. But there are moments where it, does get somewhere. Like, I actually kind of fuck with Preparation Exercise. It just feels like a manic spiral just distilled into a track. He's a super expressive and overwhelmingly talented producer. Like, these songs just sound fucking amazing, really on his perfectionist shit. Like, I love these songs. The individual songs here, they just rule. Like, there's no two ways about it. But yeah, the front to back listen is a little exhausting to me. But yeah, you fucking playing with me, bro? You think I'm not gonna fuck with intellectual greed, man? Are you serious? Also, speaking of this track, this part right here.
Don't look up.
Don't look up.
I don't want to lose you.
I don't want to lose you. Yeah, get this. Shout out to Holly Drummond. I found this pack on Splice.
Talk to me. Dance with me. Don't leave me. Stop. Just bring the beat back. Bring the beat back.
Bring the beat back. That beat was really good.
I love you. Tell me your secret. Breathe. Let's go. And don't look up.
Don't look up. Yeah, so I guess Brakence found this pack and was like, yeah, man, let me just like, let me chuck these at the end or whatever. So I guess he just likes the idea of like soft female voices, just kind of
stop
saying weird little calming things.
Talk to me.
Oh fuck, I was ready for the... Come on, man, what? Don't do that to me. Don't be my crutch when you sick and cool. Sorry, she heard the story, I've been wearing it. Yeah, man, I actually love this album. There is a lot about it that is annoying, and I do kind of reject, like, just that frat bro-y energy, which was kind of the appeal of Punk 2 in a way, because it was so unapologetically, just explosively, obnoxiously fratty, and just like, Prozac made me fuck my high school crush, like shit like that, And then the beats are just absurdly distorted and OTT to shit, and it's like, I don't know, it is kind of punky in spirit, has the veneer of a punk attitude, and that's kind of what it's zooming in on a little bit, which for me was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. I really do wonder what he's working on right now, because I can only imagine he's like neck deep in a new album, and I think he's going to be passionate about achieving the same effect that we all felt when Hypochondriac came out, where it was like, okay, this is like a leap forward, he's leveled up, and yada yada yada, and there's loads of surprises on here, and so many catchy tracks, man. My favorite song is Stung, for sure. I thought I was so much better than that. I think I'm better than that. I think I'm thinking about me like that. His voice is fucking nuts, man. How does it just stay so cleanly in these octaves? Like, he's crazy. He's crazy. This track, I love it. It's just got so many of the worst lines, though. Like, he calls himself OP. Just do it, Nike. This is so close to being unbearable on paper, but he's musically just got the fucking sauce. So it's like, cool, no big deal, Yeah, I do get why like Fantano gave it a 5. I watched that review and it does make sense to me. Like that bubblegum pop line, I don't like that he says that. If it's bubblegum pop, why you still on your knees saying you love it? What's wrong with bubblegum pop, bro? It just comes off arrogant and annoying. Brakence, you heard this shit? You ever heard this shit before, bro? We gotta start putting the break in Brakence, bro.
Now it seems kinda tough, but really it's easy enough for us to slow down the pace.
Not much better than nothing at all, and that's especially true when there is something to do. Next up, I listened to Love, Laugh, Love by Earl Sweatshirt again, because it's awesome. I love this one drum. Listen to this drum. You'll know the one. It's a snare drum. That drum is great. The way the samples get filtered on this track is so cool. They're so squashed and crunched. So sick.
The heavy measure did 'em in.
Excellent record. Jim Legxacy, man. Oh my lordy lord, Jim Legxacy. My hero, my goat. This new Jim Legxacy track, fucking hell, man. Darling, about me. Oh my god, what a fucking sample flip, man. That's beautiful, bro. That piano, is that like a, what is that piano, man? That sounds like a MIDI, like synthy kind of piano. Oh, so pretty though, I love it.
I've been living on the floors I know.
I'm in the floors I know. That little shaky vibrato thing he does is the coolest shit ever.
Cure I know.
I don't know.
I was living on the floors, didn't stop, ayy. 29 seconds on my block and the feds pull up on us all night.
It's the best beat I've ever heard in my entire life, bro. It's the greatest instrumental of all time.
If I made money, I'll die. 22 years since I so it goes. 22 ages in deposit guys. Trying to make a kill.
This motherfucker got robbed of the Brit, bro. Best emerging artist went to Lola Young. Lola Young, bro. No offense to Lola Young. She was actually at the James Blake show I was at the other day that I was talking about earlier, which is kind of cool. But yeah, she won Best Emerging Artist of the Brits. Brother, Lola Young has emerged, my G. That is not an emerging artist. Jim Legxacy is emerging. That would have been a great win. Like, fucking hell. I didn't do my year-end list for the last year, but best believe Black British music would have been like top 5. This is one of the best fucking albums of last year. And I love that he's continuing the approach and the sporadic, kaleidoscopic, just scrapbooky style of the production that this album has, where he just takes really interesting, soulful, beautiful sounds and vocal refrains and measures them up with like jerk and fucking like club hip hop kind of instrumental drum patterns and stuff, and it just makes it these really fun, bouncy rhythms, and it's so fucking cool. And I feel like he's further refining it, improving it with this track. Like if this track was on Black British music, it'd probably be one of my favorite songs on the album. I think this is an amazing. Look at this fucking cover art, man. Are you kidding me?
The labels never tell me just a trend. I was, yeah. I've been living on the floors I know. Fighting with my floors I know. I've been trying to find a cure I
So good. It's amazing. He's amazing. Then I checked out the new GRRL album, Beetle. This is a dance record. It's pretty hyper. It's manic. It's speedy and very pingy, and there's very little reverb. It's very dry, like mixing wise. Every single sound is happening inside your brain. It's pretty cool. It reminds me a little bit of St. John Hawk with some of the drum rolls, particularly on this track. Listen, like the song Nail Gun by St. John Hawk. If you've heard that song, you probably know what I mean. St. John Hawk's music isn't quite as like rampaging as this. Yeah, just the sound design trickery on display here is pretty interesting. And yeah, it's 71 minutes, 24 tracks of this style. It does not deviate once from this style. Listen. I was thinking this is going to be like 24 songs, it's like 71 minutes, it's going to be like some big statement album, like, oh, this is like the magnum opus. This is just a usual fucking Tuesday for GRRL, bro. Every album is 25 tracks, like 100 minutes, and they're all on that same shit. Like, it's like dance tunes with really like prickly and like pingy drums and stuff. I don't know, to me there is something to be said about the album format and the traditional way we view how an album should be. Like, I guess in our mind, like a good album, a great album is like 12 tracks, 40 odd minutes. There's like the super fun, crazy, hard ones, and like the catchy ones, and like the soft, like personal ones, and blah blah blah. There's like boxes that are just, you know, expected to be ticked or something that just make for like the ideal album. And I feel like shit like this to me reads like a full-on proud abuse of it, where it's like, no, we're gonna have a bunch of fucking songs that are all gonna fly at you at light speed and you're gonna fucking enjoy it. And you know what? I did. It was really difficult to not move and react to damn near every track on this thing, just because the narrow, simple idea of what dance music is that this album is presenting me, where it's like a certain BPM every single time, a very similar sound palette every single time being remixed to create a new super powered crazy hyper concoction of just like dance craziness. It's repetitive, I suppose, but I don't know, I feel like that's kind of the idea. That's kind of part of the ride you're signing up for with a GRRL album. I don't know how you say the name, help me. It's on PC Music too, which is quite cool. Yeah, no, I dig this. I'm into it. Young Lean's Warlord, honestly, super forward thinking record. I feel like a lot of people, like younger hip hop listeners and stuff, who fuck with like cloud rap and yeah, like rage and shit, like they should low-key go back and check out some older young Lean shit, because this shit was ahead of its time. The Icy Bells on Hoover, man. A lot of like oversaturated like bass riffs and stuff, like the mixing and just the approaches, the decisions being made here. I don't know, they feel kind of ahead of their time to me. Miami Ultras is a top tier young lean tune, bro. Listen to some more James Blake, self-titled and Color and Anything. I talked a bit about the self-titled already. I mean, I think that record is fucking awesome. Love the debut James Blake album. It feels so like brittle and like a shame. There's something just so sensitive about it that I love hearing. But yeah, the Color and Anything, man. This album is bizarre, bro. I vividly remember the day this dropped, actually. This is a super vivid memory. It was the same day a bunch of other albums came out. I think it was Kate Renata's 99.9%. It was Bottomless Pit by Death Grips. It was a White Lung album called Paradise. There was other ones too. I can't quite remember. I remember a couple of days after this as well. Radiohead dropped A Moon-Shaped Pool. I remember going on a walk at college, like second period maybe, and I was just listening to this record, and I got up to Choose Me, and then I went over and listened to Bottomless Pit. I can remember like every weird little detail of this day, bro. And I remember I actually listened to James Blake for the first time the day before to prepare for this release, because I wanted to get into James Blake for a while, but I just hadn't done it. So I listened to Overgrown and the self-titled back to back with lyrics in front of me the night before this album released. And Radio Silence to this day is still my absolute favorite James Blake track. I think that is the best song he's ever made. It's so fucking beautiful, and there are plenty of just all-timer James Blake tunes, but the way this record moves is really strange. There is not really much like transitional glue holding these tracks together. The Quentin Blake illustration, I think, reflects just like the strange little island that this album is just sort of stuck on. It's got some of his most like soul-bearing lyrical work too. I Need a Forest Fire as well. Absolutely an all-timer James Blake tune. And one of the tracks I used to not enjoy was Forever, but on this revisit, I was absolutely in love with this song, man. Just an amazing performance from James Blake there. But yeah, Radio Silence.
I can't believe this was yours.
I'm sorry, I don't know how you feel. Oh my god, this song is haunting, man. His voice in the background saying just please more time. Oh, so painful, bro. I can't believe this. You don't want to see me, like Radio Silence, like just confronting the fact that something beautiful might be coming to an end, and you're feeling that silence, that quiet. It's so beautiful, man. There's a panic in his voice, the way he's like kind of whimpering. I don't know how you feel. It's like unstable. Oh, it's so fucking powerful to me, bro. I love it. The track following this, Points, is insane. Just from like a concept point of view, like how the fuck do you ever produce that? Like what? Like it's just so weird. I don't know why the fuck you'd ever make that. The way the vocals just sort of hum along with those really strange, flumpy little drums. Like they sound so thin and brittle. It's so weird. I don't know how to explain it. Such a curious track. It's such a bizarre song, man. This album is just like spiraling through like a breakdown. It's wild, bro. I think it's awesome. I'm a big fan of this record. Timeless too. What a fucking tune. Originally Kanye was going to be on that, apparently. New Earl Sweatshirt and Mic track, but I'm just going to go ahead. It was good. I'm just going to go ahead and get to the announcements. Kelsey Lou's dropping an album. She is an excellent like art pop R&B musician who dropped an album ages ago at this point, man. It was a while ago. 2019, I want to say. Blood was the record. Yeah. Due West. Oh, Due West is such a good tune off this thing.
Just cruise as far as I can go to
California. Fucking lush, man. I know she's done some collaborations in between then and now, but it's been a minute since we've received like just some solo Kelsey Lou shit, and this album's the follow-up to that 2019 record. It's called So Help Me God. I wonder if she's going to rename it to Swish. Bull knowledge right there. Yeah, if you're into like Kalela, Georgia Smith, maybe even a little bit of FKA Twigs, you're in good company with Kelsey Lou. I would recommend what she's got going on, man. Horse Lords are dropping. They're like a electronic, jazzy, like progressive rock type band, I think. If I'm thinking of the right band. The Common Task. Was that them? That was them. Yes, The Common Task. This was a pretty critically acclaimed record from 2020. I liked it. I think it's nice. And yeah, this new album's called Demand to Be Taken to Heaven Alive. Quite a loud and proud title right there. Sort of tongue-in-cheek, but maybe a bit of panic involved. Yeah, I'll be tuning into that when it drops. 12 tracks this time around. Good to see some new stuff from them. You know, that's lovely. Next up we got Kehlani. I don't know why I said it that way. Kehlani, you know, R&B pop singer. I don't really personally give a fuck. Last Kehlani album I listened to was this, bro. Sweet Sexy Savage. All one word, by the way. I didn't love it. Kind of confirmed to me that she is not really for me. So if you're into like, I don't know, lame ass R. If you're into R&B, more familiar, traditional, modern, contemporary pop flavored R&B, then yeah, Kalani's releasing some new music on April 24th. 17 tracks to be specific. That might just be a good day for you, that's all. Ed O'Brien is dropping an album. He's the least problematic member of Radiohead, to my knowledge. Johnny Greenwood's a big old Israel boy, and so is Tom York maybe, but he's kind of confused. He dropped this album in 2020, which I had no idea about until literally right now. It has Laura Marling on it. That's nice. I like her. Wonder if she's got anything in the pipeline. But yeah, Blue Morpho is the new one from Ed O'Brien. Will I be tuning in? I don't know. We'll see. Death Cab for Cutie. This one I will tune into. Sort of emo-tinged indie rock band. They've made a great album back in the day. Transatlanticism, bro. This shit goes crazy. I was not very big on Plans. Their follow-up, this one's a lot more sweet and saccharine and melodic, and it kind of got a little too much for me. But Transatlanticism is really great. I've not actually checked out their later career stuff, but I do hear it's a bit weaker, and they've got a new record to update us on what they're up to musically, creatively. It's called I Built You a Tower. That is the same orange as Ski Mask's Resort, or at least a similar orange. Genesis Owusu coming back. I have not really ever clicked with Genesis Owusu. I've not really been able to quite pinpoint what it is about him that I don't enjoy. It was particularly this record. I remember when it came out, it was getting pretty universal mass praise, and I was just struggling to see the vision. I wasn't really feeling it. But I never thought it was like bad or anything. I just never quite cared about this record. That was 5 years ago though, so I could like it more now. You know, I'm a different guy. But I remember thinking Struggler was pretty cool. I didn't mind this at all. But yeah, I've not really found myself interested or connected or attached to Genesis Owusu yet. But he has got a new record with a pretty sick title. It's called Red Star Woo and the Worldwide Scourge. Comes out May 15th, so maybe this will be the one where I sort of click with Genesis Owusu. Chapel Roan! Oh my god, Chapel Roan! Chapel Roan hates children. Is this still news? She like told a kid to fuck off or something? Well no, she had a guard, a security guard, tell a kid to leave her alone, I think. Well, presumably. Apparently she knew nothing about it. There was a video, I think, where she said how I didn't even realize that was, oh no, it wasn't even me. Look, man, personally, I don't fucking care. I don't give a single shit. I don't think Chapel Roan's a dick if she told the kid to go away. Careless, sure, but I'm not like seeing her in too crazy of a negative light. She does strike me as somebody that does struggle a bit with fame, so this is probably just like a product of that. You know, I know there was a few controversies before where she was talking about, you know, politics and stuff like that, and fan interactions, and that's why media training exists. You know, I know a lot of people that think like, oh, media training is so lame, they just have to be like robots and not say what they really think, and like the reason media training exists is because of shit like this, bro. Because the internet will just go sicko mode nuts crazy and dogpile like a load of hate if you do one tiny thing that's a little bit like, what did you mean by that? No, oh, wow, oh, blah, blah, blah. Sort of like with the Timothy Chalamet thing, with the opera thing. It was just like, so minor, man. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? And similarly to Chapel Roan and Timothy Chalamet, they're sort of like kind of new, I guess, generally, like on a grander scale as far as like the spotlight they have right now, and they've been put on a pedestal and loads of people look up to them, and you know, they want to see their every move, and when you're on that level, I guess you become an easy target for like a takedown, especially when you are kind of a newer face. Yeah, I don't know, this Chapel Roan thing is lame. I don't really give a shit. Yeah, anyway, Sublime, ska rock punk band, they have a 21 track long new album on the way called Until the Sun Explodes. I don't think I've ever in my entire life listened to Sublime before. If I have, I forgot, bro. I feel like I might have listened to this once. I don't fucking know. Should I check out Sublime? Let me know if I'm missing out. But here's the new record. They are coming back with a fucking crazy statement here. I was 22 tracks. Yo, what? 22 tracks? That's nuts. Fiddler on it? Jeez, that's a shame. That's tragic. And yeah, they have a lot of clout, a lot of love. I think they're one of those bands that people have plenty of like nostalgia for. They were huge in the 90s and stuff like that. Happy to see some legends returning to the fold. Kanye West, for example. He's got an album on the way. It's actually real, and it has no AI, and it's supposed to drop today, but it didn't. To quote my friend Daniel.
Bully next week and the expectations for that.
Bully next week. You said bully next week. No way, it's real.
Yeah, it is real. It will come out on time.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, Brody. Bro really thought Kanye West was dropping an album on time. Absolute fool. Yeah, bro, that does not happen in this world we live in, brother. Kanye West does not drop albums on time, you know? And I fucking find it so annoying. I remember actually Brockhampton had a problem with this too. Team Effort and Puppy, Best Years of Our Lives, like at a certain point, they would announce an album and you just feel nothing. It's like, well, I don't even know if it's going to happen yet, do I? Because they would often do a thing where they would announce an album before they've even started the record, and they would just make it like in like a week or something. I think they did that with Iridescence, which is their best album, by the way, but that's irrelevant. Anyway, it's a shame when artists do that. Just reduces the impact of the announcement to me. So whenever Kanye West announced a thing, I'm like, whatever. I don't really care, you know, because I don't really believe it. Still waiting for Yandi, TurboGrafx 16, Swish. Although Swish became Life of Pablo, so that doesn't really count. But yeah, the no AI thing. So Vultures 1 and 2 had AI reference tracks and stuff, and maybe he's really trying to save face, rebuild his image. He did that big apology thing. It comes off like him being aware that no one really gives a fuck about him anymore. Like, he's not really talked about, hasn't really got the hip-hop world in a chokehold like he used to. And that bothers him, because I think he really loves attention. I am evil. Remember that from the DJ Academics thing? Like, he's realizing now that his actions and words and stuff, they have consequences, because the shit he was spewing was really harmful, man. Like, so fucking bad. Yeah, when you see like that DJ Academics I am evil thing, you're seeing someone who's just fucking lost it. The interest you had in that person before through the music is getting shattered when you see shit like that. So yeah, and plus when the music is fucking what Vultures 1 and 2, who cares anyway? Music's not even good anymore. So yeah, Bully, I could give a fuck less about Bully. When it comes out, I'll spin it. Maybe we'll talk about it on the podcast. No AI though is a good thing. The less AI, the better for sure. We'll just have to see how the future transpires as far as Kanye's reputation, the music, the outcry, the aftermath. It will be interesting to at least watch. Hopefully no one dies. Model Actress, surprise drop, new EP, Swan Songs. Muse have a new album out. Paul McCartney have a new album out. Paul McCartney's album actually looks pretty earnest from what I could tell. It seemed like he was diving back into his past and he's got something to say. I was reading like a little press release thing for it. This Muse album is called The Wow Signal. I hate that. And yeah, last week's releases were Underscores, BTS, Kid Cudi had an EP, Matt Comey, Michael Made It, and Anna Calvi. This week we've got Yeats, A Dangerous Life, or ADL, which as far as I know, I will be talking about this album on the podcast. But we're going to be recording that next Sunday. I'm going to be real with you, bro. I've given this record one listen. I'm going to be real. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if anyone is thinking about this record next Sunday. I'll give it some more time. See how we feel. But yeah, wouldn't be shocked if we scrap that idea. Ray's new record. This music may contain hope. Fuck this title, man. I'm sorry. Ray is not the problem. Like, not someone I should get mad at, but I hate this cover art. I hate this title. I hate these track titles. The WhatsApp Shakespeare. Click Clack Symphony. I hate the way I look today. Where is my husband? I get that she's like embodying the spirit of like a very real panic that is felt by herself and women alike in the context of the world and how hopeless it all feels. And like, this is a warning. This music may contain hope. There's no hope anywhere. People reject hope these days. That's kind of the vibe I get. And it just comes off like, shut the fuck up, bro. It's just so overtly on the nose to the point where it's a little nauseating. I like Ray as a person though. I saw her live last year briefly. I didn't see the whole set because I had things to do, but yeah, she has an amazing live show. Like, her singing voice is ridiculous, but also just like her personality and what she brings to the live experience. Like, her crowd interactions are really fun. Like, she's a lovely personality and stuff, but yeah, her like actual songs are so dull to me. I think musically she's got very little in the way of surprises going on with any of her songs. Her tunes just don't stick with me. Don't really find it very, very interesting, just creatively speaking. But yeah, shout out to Ray. She's kind of in that Adele sort of camp where like, you should be doing this for a living. Like, your voice is unreal. Like, by all means, all the success in the world. I just personally don't really give a fuck. Robin has an album out called Sexistential, 29 minutes. I am terrified to hear it. I heard this single was, yeah, had some people riled up, if I remember right. And that cover art is quite a statement too. I don't know, man. This could be fun. We also have a new Snail Mail record called Ricochet. I like Snail Mail. Their other albums are nice. Valentine has Headlock on it. Headlock's a great song. And this cover art, I forgot how fucking bright the colors are on this cover art, man. I kind of like it. I don't know. I hate it, but I think it does get the job done. It's It's an image, that's for sure. So yeah, I'll look forward to hearing this. I think it should be a nice, cozy listen. Speaking of nice, cozy listens, Courtney fucking Barnett's back, man. Yes, bro. Love me some Courtney Barnett. I enjoyed the singles that I did hear, which was Mantis and Sugar Plum. They were nice. I think generally her music is just super friendly, super lovely. I will be looking forward to my time with this. We also have Smoke Dope 2016. He had a really good album last year called The Peak. He's like a new school underground rapper. New one from Kareem Ali. I love me some Kareem Ali, bro. He's got a new album out called The Essence. I did play a few songs from it and it was sounding fun, man. I'm excited to properly give this a go. There's also a new Central C EP, a new Charlie Puth album, a new Fetty Wap album, and a new Dalek album for you experimental hip-hop nerds. Slater's dropped an album. The Twilight Sad Scottish post-punk lads, they've dropped It's the Long Goodbye. Me when someone asked me what my favorite Robert Altman movie is. Yeah, that's their new album, and yeah, that's your lot pretty much. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Let me know what you've been listening to, and as far as I can tell, I will not be skipping any forthcoming weeks that I can see. I plan to keep this up because I actually really enjoy making these videos. I have a great time every time I record one, and I'm glad these videos are doing pretty well. It seems like you guys dig them, so yeah, let's keep this shit moving, keep these videos going, support the channel to see more. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you gotta do, but most importantly, you just have a wonderful day and enjoy some music. Let me know what you've been listening to. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very, very much. Bye bye.